Hello, all of you wonderful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, currently as Ether, the Labramon, god of evil, lord of death, all those wonderful things. And this is Cosmoteer. You know, I would definitely be a Sith. Except I'd be the greatest Sith, because, you know, I am true evil. Yes. But anyways, we have some upgrades we need to do for our ships here. Because while it's great to have this hauler, actually we've got two of them now, though I'm still not certain I'm going to keep this one. It's a cool design, but at the same time, it's also like... it requires a lot of crew. And it could be a bit more efficient in design. So I am debating on that. But for now, what we are going to do is get rid of... well, I guess we'll receive the payment for that. But we are going to sell the ammo that this thing has and all of this other stuff, because we don't use that. So why keep it, right? We will take the carbon. Carbon is very useful. Now, this ship has some pretty decent weaponry as is, but we can always use more. Right? More guns! More guns! More dots!
Actually, isn't that what people say all Digimon end up getting?
Oh, true, true. I wonder what guns you're gonna get.
Did I have guns before?
Well, I don't know. Did you?
Well, I did die first. I don't know if I lost them.
Oh.
Well, if I had any. Jerks who killed me probably took them.
Yeah, they probably did, but we'll get them back.
Yeah.
We're gonna put that there. Some ion cannons would be very useful. Especially against things like that annoying little... you know, that one thing that we were fighting last time. Whatever you call it. I'm not remembering what you call it.
Your hand?
The Beyblade! The Beyblade! Last time we were fighting a Beyblade that was, like, invincible, and so it was really annoying. You know, we actually don't need these cockpits here. Like, this is providing enough command for everything. I think we'll just get rid of them. At least for now. I might regret this choice later on. If I do, I blame Guru.
You're blaming me. For what?
For if I regret my choices to remove those.
Ah.
Don't worry, it's Asher. When has he regretted doing anything?
Precisely. I would definitely not have regretted removing those silly little railroad tracks. But no, this freaking goody two-shoes decided, no, I can't have them. I will have my vengeance. What do you mean take a character into a gaming stream? I am always me. Do you doubt my existence, Guru? Do I need to show you why I'm the god of death?
That's only for, like, digital creatures, right?
You wanna find out?
Probably not.
Aw, come on! Where's your sense of adventure?
Death is usually inimical to adventure.
Ah, but you could also say that it is life's final adventure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Aw, I had my last adventure already.
It's okay. We'll make sure you have more still.
Yep, okay then.
Actually, we'll leave that there and just put another reactor here. Yeah. The delete button for the digital world? No, I'm just where, you know, people wind up when they are deleted. I decide where they go. So don't cross me. Actually, I know where I'll put these. We don't need fire extinguishers. Well, okay, we'll keep some fire extinguishers, but we'll put them over here. We'll put some there. And 2 more here. There. What did I just do? Okay, so apparently I can hold control and just instantly have all of the, everywhere that a door could possibly be get filled with the door? You know what? I'll accept that. The recycling bin. Also, you know you're on voice, right? You are right here. Right here. You can just
Yeah.
speak instead of writing. I understand it's intimidating to be here with the god of death. But you can still speak. Come on, Guru. Speak, boy.
I was about to bark, but now I won't.
But you want to still, don't you?
Ruff. Ruff.
See, there you go. Alright, let's put one of these on here. It doesn't fit. But I can't wait to have a ship that I can put that on. Mahaha!
Oh, the temptation for a joke. Hook I had there. I was gonna ask if that ship was piloted by Gib Gab.
Well, all of these are... Oh, that's 200 or 400. These are all 500-meter range. I guess we are using the CIS heavy turbo laser. It's got the biggest range and the largest firing arc. Oh, never mind, I cannot fit that. Blah!
Oh, but the big laser.
I know, I wanted to. There! That will work. Make it so! Or at least I think it'll work. It might be horrible decisions, but I'm doing it anyways.
Sounds good.
What was that?
I said sounds good.
We really do not have very much money. And I do not like this fact. However, for resources, we do have quite a bit. I'm just debating if I want to try and make this one actually viable or stick with this one. Because I do like the design of this ship. But there is no reason that this thing should have a bridge. That is just overkill. Okay, so this ship is good to go. The ZGF Comet is ready. Now let's beef up the Valerie, the Dart, and we will call this the ZGF Haboku. It was the first minion.
Yeah, have a ship that. Asymmetrical blink. Blink. How do I operate this again?
Don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll be fine. This thing is so tiny. It's basically unable to be worked with. So, we're just gonna, you know, go with an entirely new thing.
It'll be interesting to see how this goes differently than from when it was under Nim's command.
You see, the benefit of being under my command is your death is guaranteed.
You must have misheard me. You said benefit? It sounded more like detriment.
That was a loud silence.
Yes, it was. I'm totally adding that as a quote. There. So apparently the A-Wing is not centered on the blueprint thing. And I have no view where it's actually at. Ah, there we go. I had to send the guru a little ways away to actually find where it's at. I'm not certain this thing actually needs this much crew. Like, most of this doesn't even require crew to operate. I mean, sure, they need to actually run power around, but that's the only thing that they... Yeah, this really does not need this much crew. We're just gonna get rid of that. Get rid of this. That can stay there. We'll put a roof cannon there. Absolutely, Piketh. Come on in.
Hey, do Pakesh.
Yay, Pikash is coming.
What is that yay for?
I like the soda bear.
Oh, fair enough.
And it will even out the dark colors and hooded vibes.
What's wrong with having a hood? Actually, I'm the only one here who technically has one.
Ah,
Hello.
hello, Pikash.
Hello.
You're cute.
What was that?
And I see and hear cute people.
I am not cute.
Okay, we'll just call you adorable then.
I am evil!
Okay, evil adorable.
Haboku, bite him. Actually, he's a rug. Pee on him.
I survived the dentist yesterday. I can take that.
It's good to see you, Pikash.
It's good to see you too, Haboku, Guru, and Zim Zim.
I think that's Asher, but yeah.
Yes,
No,
I
I'm
am the
still
god
Asher,
of
yeah.
death.
So you don't fear dentists then?
I fear nothing. For I am evil!
Yep, that's it. You're gonna go see the dentist. You're gonna get your fangs polished.
Bring it on.
Hour and 20 minutes, but old filling out, new filling in, crack sealed, even ground the tooth down a little bit, so less bite force on it. So, I'm happy to chew with no pain.
That is very nice.
Yeah, for only $300 too. I'm very happy.
That's a great price.
A resplendent offering.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Dragon 114 tipped $50.
Mr. Dragon, thank you very much for that tithe to my evil plans. I will make sure that it goes to only the most appropriately evil of things. Rent. Thank you
Agreed.
so seriously so much for the support. It is a huge help. We are halfway to our goal of covering our rent. Yay!
Yeah, one of the greatest incentives in life. Rent!
Look. I was not involved in the creation of things. My job is when things end. I had nothing to do with rent.
Evil just lives in the alley in a cardboard box saying, rent defeated me.
Well, you know what they say, it's death and taxes. They're equals.
And happy very long weekend to everybody. Yay!
Yeah, there's a big tabletop game coming up tomorrow. First one I've been in, Scar. That's exciting though.
Remember, don't shoot the bartender in Star Wars. They're generally well armed.
Is that like a thing? Do people shoot the bartenders in Star Wars?
Usually one of the generic encounters is, someone throws in that stupid band from the original Star Wars, that and they're like, I'm shooting the Muppets.
The stupid band. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's like D&D. It's, you encounter each other in the generic space bar, and there's a band playing, and someone will go, it's that band. Yes. And someone will either sing the tune or whatever, and it's like, yep, I'm pulling out a blaster.
There you go.
Aw.
Sneak preview.
Oh, I'm front and center.
That is cute.
R4F3 has its own icon. Oh, that's really cool.
Well, yes. He is an important member of the crew. You don't
Hey, he carries the space
dislike
kibble
him,
for
right?
Furvis.
It is an important duty. Otherwise, he is liable to eat somebody in the group.
Yeah, I saw the picture earlier today on FA of the character.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And I see the cyber paw has been incorporated as a character idea.
Yes. It pleased me, therefore I made it thus.
And it almost ended up becoming a lightsaber claw.
It can still.
That's an adventure for another time.
Which, speaking of, is Tal still in the other room?
Yeah.
Tal, I have kidnapped you.
Okay, well, I'm going back.
Oh, okay.
I was in the middle of a conversation.
Bye-bye.
Well, I have things to tell him.
Evil failed on a kidnapping check. I'm heartbroken.
I
have
will
to cancel my
my
subscription
vengeance.
to Evil.
Darn goody two shoes. You kidnap them and they just go, I'm leaving. And they-
Like, wait, I have an elaborate plot to tell you.
No thanks, bye.
It's 76 pages. I have notes.
I mean, they did that to the adventuring party today. There was like this evil coup going on or something near their train. And they just went, well, we're not hired to deal with that, so we're just going to keep riding the train.
Not our problem.
Emond! Hello, hash brown face.
Well, yes, but you guys could have that up here in the group with us. And I have things to tell Tal.
You may have to offer a bribe. I mean, I could offer 3 slices of death pizza, but, you know.
Well, fine, Geeman. At least tell Taldarius that I have found that lightsaber claws are a thing in lore, thus I want them.
Just because a player wants doesn't mean a player gets.
I have spoken.
Yes, but you're not the gatekeeper and you don't know the keymaster.
Isn't he the gatekeeper, though?
I actually am. When you die, I
thought
decide where
Taldarius-
you go.
Oh, yes, here, but there, Taldarius is the Almighty.
Taldarius is a pumpernickel.
I am a god of evil. You are a pumpernickel. Are
And you
we
go great
hungry?
you go great with butter.
The god of evil's hungry again. Like, yes, it's time for a food break. The Dungeon Master needs a can of SpaghettiOs.
But yeah, I get it. People don't want to reveal their spoilers on stream. That's why I was tight-lipped about what I was doing with my character at the last 40 points.
Especially if you got a good backstory or something.
me.
Yep, some player's hungry and craves pumpernickel.
Oh.
It's
We can interest you in donuts or some pizza.
What exactly is Death Pizza, Pakash?
I ordered double cheese and pepperoni, and I think she really liked it because I think it's the equivalent of triple.
Ah.
Like, you literally cannot find a crust on it. It's just this layer of cheese with pepperoni floating in it.
It's a whole cow's worth.
Pretty close. It was so bad I had to eat it with a knife and fork because you literally could not hold it in your hands.
Oh, speaking of cheese, hello there, Master of Cheese. We are currently using the Star Wars, a Cosmos at War or something mod. They've got a few mods with it. We're just only using their mods. The cheese does make the
Grommet.
meal.
Oh, grommet cheese. And remember, if the cheese attacks, it's clearly a monster. Snacks and uppies for everybody because it's a 4-day long weekend and my roomies are out somewhere at a casino.
I swear your roomies are never home.
Well, they've got a 4-day long weekend to enjoy, so they're off enjoying it.
I'm just saying, every time I turn around, they're just not there.
Well, both of them work oddball hours, so I mean, sometimes one of them will be home or none will be home, and then 2 o'clock in the morning they'll both show up, and it's like, it happens. I'm a house bear. I mean, as long as I keep the place, vaguely, together, I get to live here. I mean,
I'm
always
really
behind on my
debating
dishes.
if I want these.
What are they?
Proton torpedo launchers.
Ah,
They are useful. However, they also leave very little scrap behind.
scrap makes the meal.
It's the old video game Wand of Disintegration issue.
You know what? We'll put reverse thrusters there. That will be sufficient. Make it so! Thus I have decreed.
Pew pew.
He wants to make sure the wolf is very maneuverable. And has plenty to eat.
Yes, don't ask where he's got that emergency thruster. We don't talk about that. It's the extra spicy kibble. I know, I'm a silly bear.
No, I was just thinking, Asher did actually get a spicy meal today, his session.
Ah,
Oh,
Yes, it was very tasty.
almost as have
Actually-
rugs have psychic powers. Ooh.
Oh wait, I can do this. Alright, so we'll put airlock hatch here. And we'll put fire extinguisher here. That way they've got, they can get started on stuff more properly. You three, get over here quickly. So you can help build. Guru, you go over there as well.
Oh, Gru has his own
Whoa.
ship. Ooh, nice.
that's what I was talking about by the saying that the wolf needs to be very mobile. He is modifying the ZGF Garu. He almost put missiles on me.
I was
I'm just a
debating
mysterious
that.
space rug.
I think I might lose these crew members. Hi, Fetch!
Hey, fetch! Pet, pet, pet.
There we go. Managed to get it going.
Ooh, and an Ido. Hello, Ido.
Well, Ido's here in voice.
I'm Haboku.
Yeah, but when I see names pop up, I'm, that old school. I go, oh, hello.
Yeah, fair.
Advantages of being a rug. Ah.
Yeah, I didn't
Thank you
actually
for-
know who you were until now, I don't.
Yeah, there's their name, and then there's their current avatar name, and it's like, yeah, I almost never remember which is which.
That's fair.
Especially when you have multiple names, because there might
Yeah,
be
'cause-
multiple campaigns.
Yep, and multiple icons to go with each, and yeah.
The only reason I knew Rain's icons was because most of them were the same. Like
Thank you
Ren
for
and
asking,
Rain.
Fetch. I'm doing well. Sorry.
I am doing well as well. I am doing evil. Maha!
And also doing well.
We'll share late night snacks and kindness.
I saw your joke to Geeman there, Guru. Nice.
Yeah. Can I say I'm still learning about Scar? How would I know what spoiler types feats are, or what it's strong against?
Spoiler weak to divine.
Technically, that type would be pure.
I think there's like mythic. It might be strong against mythic. Probably weak to psionic.
I think lots of furries are weak to psionic, considering how hypnosis goes.
Oh, yes. Yes, they are.
You're feeling pettish. Pettish.
Something wrong, Guru?
Oh no, I'm just watching the various interactions.
We need to toss that +1 collar of protection into the room and see who jumps for it.
What's still to be done here?
You don't have enough Folgers crystals.
A message has been relayed, says Gaben.
I'm half expecting Tell to just put like a big no in chat.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's melting.
Yeah, I don't know why they just started, oh god. What have I done?
Oh, the minions have turned.
Careful with those god
I
of
didn't turn
death
anywhere.
powers.
Well, Town needs to join voice.
Will Geeman do it for a Scooby hash brown?
Why are you not building that?
Because we don't wanna.
Laziness.
Apparently.
The Musk bots, they're busy going to Mars.
Sometimes they just decide they don't want to build one particular thing. Wait, why are you not functioning?
Min was having the same problem yesterday. Maybe they unionized.
Well, with luck, it's not the AI from the Star Lost. Then he's totally boned.
I will
That
have
thing
to
was
watch
chaotic
that comedian.
helpful. It was a 1-year sci-fi show, Canadian, 1970 to 1971, I think it was, and it had some really innovative ideas. Just well, it had such low budget and low acting, it died on the vine.
You ever watch Doctor Who?
Yes,
Well, there you go. Low budget doesn't necessarily mean bad.
yeah,
Original Doctor.
they had the BBC behind them, and the BBC had money, whereas, well, people behind this didn't really have money.
Plungers and trash cans. Daleks were literally plungers on trash cans. Then they got money. But I'll leave Kudere to explain that another time.
Yeah, I watched classic Doctor Who, Star Trek, Star Wars. So
Oh, yeah.
I was there with the deep magic, but yeah.
Oh, I remember the original Star Trek. And you have like the strings with the actual ship. But that was a great series. It revolutionized a lot.
Yeah. And that's what the Star Lost tried to do, because they went, well, if the Americans could have a program like that, we could have one too. And it was a great idea, just it didn't really pan out.
Okay, they are still refusing to build that one piece. And it is
It's the one
annoying the
piece.
heck out of me.
The chipped fang.
Yep, it's like my chipped tooth. No, we don't want it.
Gotta pay him $300.
Gotta schedule an appointment.
Well, tell the Court of Tal that I have the right to represent myself in front of him. So he needs to come up here.
Oh, there's some splaining to do. There may be a whooping.
Now watch. So only build the one and the lead. Oh no, they built them both. Yay. The ZGF Dart is a very speedy craft.
Yes, yes it is. I approve.
Does suit the name.
Alright, so we got that upgrade done. The ZGF Haboku. Let's get that redesigned a bit. Our first sip that we need to rebuild and make better. Well, not necessarily rebuild. I think it's pretty good as is. Just needs some tweaking.
Here you go, Ido.
Oop.
Do that. We'll do this.
The first uses of
and then-
AI, and oh boy, did it have attitude.
So is there anything else I should get ready for the game tomorrow? I've spent the skill points. I've set up my feats. Should probably have to read chapter 5 or...
The ZGF Haboku is just going to have a giant, heavy turbo laser, despite being a tiny ship. It shall be glorious! Mahahaha!
Hooray.
Zim, you have interrupted my lore.
Oh my.
Well,
How
hello.
big-
Well, you see, I needed to present my case for the lightsaber claws.
Okay, besides Plo Kloon's lightsaber gauntlet that is literally lightsaber sized and just has a gauntlet handle?
Well, that's my evidence, and I'm sticking to it.
Zim. Literally the handle is just a gauntlet. It is a normal sized lightsaber.
Okay, so why can't I have those on my claws?
Do you understand the size of a lightsaber, regardless of the fact that you are like 2 people tall? That is not a claw. That is like attaching a short sword to your wrist and going, ah yes, this will do nicely.
I fail to see your point.
My point is, it'd be bigger and less proportional than fucking Protoss gauntlets.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
The advantages of energy weapons with no weight.
Fun fact, lightsabers are notoriously unbalanced and take special training to use because of the horrific weight imbalance with them.
Fine.
Look, if you want lightsaber claws, you're going to have to get them specially developed.
Oh. Well, you just said
I
no
have said-
before.
I said okay. There are ways of making thin lightsaber blades. The thing about it is that as you make those, the technology gets increasingly more complex. And you need to specially shape kyber crystals. And you need to shape a kyber crystal and have the entire enclosure for each blade, effectively, unless you have them all connect back to a point. So you need to have a sufficient number of specifically shaped kyber crystals, all within resonance of each other, in order to make lightsaber claws.
Okay, I have a mission. I am satisfied with this.
You'll also have to develop the technology around it, or pay people to.
I mean, I got
That'll draw a lot of attention.
I got the Guru's character Regis to do developing. He is the
Okay.
researcher.
He is a researcher. Does that mean he knows how to practically put things together in any way, or has any actual real experience with stuff like that?
Also, good question about that, because you did mention it. Wouldn't you want someone who's force sensitive to work with kyber crystals? Normally.
Usually, yes.
Semantics.
In fact,
mean-
usually people end up making their own lightsabers, using the Force to guide them.
The same kind of technology that let me do it would be kind of like giving a droid lightsabers, which is just sacrilege.
Ooh, we could give Arf a lightsaber.
You could. Although you probably want to go with one of the smaller models for that.
Wait, you can actually give droids?
Yeah, you can give droids lightsaber.
Idea.
There's literally droids that are specifically known for using lightsabers.
Ah, I knew like Count Dooku was kind of like that, but he wasn't actually a.
Oh, he's a cyborg. But no, there's literally lightsaber droids.
No,
Okay.
the idea. We're going to turn Arf into an angry little Beyblade.
Yeah, just.
You're going to have his head raise up like a solid like 4 inches, and a ring of lightsaber blades activate as it starts to like jet boost around.
Yes.
So you don't need something force sensitive for it to emit lightsabers?
Nope.
Okay.
No, someone completely unforce sensitive could pick up a lightsaber and start using it. The problem is that usually that gets them killed.
Oh.
Because you can use the lightsaber without force sensitivity.
I wouldn't imagine that would get you killed if you used it not to fight. Like, you could use it as a cutting tool.
Yes, you could. But the moment you start using that as a fight, that becomes a danger to yourself.
Yeah.
And part of the reason that I know this is because I have had non-force sensitive characters pick up lightsabers in these games that, like, were sometimes intentionally shot to the ground and use it to cut open a horn, like a hole in a door.
Yeah, just don't use it as a weapon.
I mean, General Grievous managed it.
Yeah. But he was a cyborg. He had
Yeah.
he had like droid implementations.
Yeah, that was. I mean, he kind of got.
But yes, non-sensitives can pick up lightsaber blades, and sometimes they can even beat force-sensitive like people with them.
Wow.
I mean, General Grievous.
Yeah, that's happened like a
as
couple
the
of times.
Example did it a lot. He had a whole collection of them.
Well, yes, but he also, like I said, had droid implants. He was cybernetic as hell. I'm talking about literal normal people picking up a lightsaber blade, like, you know, trained warriors, but normal people, non-force sensitive, pick up a lightsaber blade and beat a force sensitive's ass with it.
You gotta do a lot of training with a vibroblade first. That's all.
Yeah, although normally that would happen in like old Republic era times. Back when also like the more like standard warriors were like those warriors would like fucking crip walk over most of the armed forces of, like, you know, quote unquote modern day Star Wars.
I loved the intro videos of the intro movies of Star Wars: The Old Republic, because they showed it off real well.
Oh yeah, they showed off the fact that, like, first of all, the force sensitives like highly trained for war, but also the normal people were like actually putting up a fight.
Yeah, just some random Republic trooper just charges up and goes toe to toe with the leader of the Sith there.
Yeah, it actually puts on a good showing.
That's actually pretty cool. That's inspiring. Everyone
Yes.
can be successful.
There's literally a reason why I went, hey, your character can choose to just not be force sensitive, and this is not actually a handicap.
Fair enough.
Because, trust me, there will be people in this galaxy, even currently, where, like, yeah, you guys have a couple of force sensitives, and they're gonna have some badass powers. But y'all might just get your asses kicked anyway.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I mean, it was bragged about the potential for Vader.
Well, yeah, but that'd be if you guys, like, really fucked something up. And also, if
Yeah.
Vader shows up, he's force sensitive, so that doesn't count. He's literally space Jesus. Like, come on.
He's Space Satan.
No, he's space Jesus.
Here. I got a video I'm gonna share real quick.
For centuries, Alderaan stood as a beacon of hope in the Republic. But the Empire came.
Sith Empire.
And with one savage strike, brought
Yeah, before the
peace.
Darth Vader Empire.
Now, time is running out, as few are left to face the enemy. For those that remain, there is but one choice. We must fight to victory or death for the Republic!
Yeah, just the freaking random trooper just judo chops a Sith.
Imagine Imperial stormtroopers having to fight these chads. Like, what the actual fuck are modern Star Wars people going to do against these people?
I know.
By the way, obviously, people are going to be played more like this instead of bumbling idiots.
Oh yeah,
So the
of
dice-
course.
Yes, he just tried to charge the Sith leader with a fucking knife.
Yes. And to be fair, he got pretty damn
He
close.
got pretty close. He got pretty close, actually.
I mean, that guy did just eat a missile and was fine.
Yeah, so he saw the missile wasn't working, so he decided, fine, we'll go man to man here. Of course, Force users at this time were also insane. Compared to what they are in our timeline.
Yeah. Well, most Force users. There are a couple.
Well, yeah.
There are a couple orders out there that are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The phase.
One of which is Furry's best.
Yes.
By the way, fun fact: using the Force to turn, or just turning off your own lightsaber mid-swing and re-engaging it to get past people's guards, was hated by like basically every Force sensitive because the Jedi viewed it as a dishonorable tactic, and the Sith viewed it as a little bitch boy move
Yeah.
that showed you were a little coward. Thermal dash. Or maybe that was Ion. Yeah, Ion. That's not a thermal dash.
But he still fucking went up and was willing to do that.
Yeah.
I just love this scene. It's like she doesn't just throw him into a mountain. She throws him through a mountain.
Yep.
She Kamehameha blasted him.
Oh yeah. Just straight up Hadouken his ass.
Jayuken!
He's dead, right?
Bleh. Nah, he's been a plot point.
While the sacrifices are heavy, we fight knowing that a single spark of courage can ignite the fires of hope and restore peace across the galaxy.
Oh, democracy!
Thank you.
Here, arf, arf.
Yeah, it's given doing some working, so I'm saying hi. Because he wanted some attention, obviously.
Space hash browns.
Oh, bonsai! That's, this was just a momentary thing. I do have Cosmoteer here, and I will be getting back to playing it.
Yeah, no, it was a small aside because we were talking about Star Wars stuff. Because starting a Star Wars tabletop tomorrow.
Exactly.
And there's Star Wars mods on this Cosmoteer.
Exactly.
And we're all Star Wars nerds.
It was a brief 5-minute interruption for that video. But, yeah. I am actually doing Cosmoteer. I very much enjoy this game.
Nerding here.
No worries, Bonsai. But yeah, we are starting a Star Wars tabletop RPG tomorrow, so we're getting kind of really hyped about Star Wars. I was going to share the other starting videos, but we could discuss that last one first for a moment.
Yeah. Which is just like, imagine modern day, like, with how it's represented. Imagine modern day Star Wars people having to deal with those absolute chads either side of them. It would be a fucking bloodbath.
Oh, yeah. They don't make them like they used to. Which I am really curious if it's addressed in the lore on why everybody in the modern day is so much weaker.
Oh, yeah, so it actually is. They haven't been at war in fucking forever. At worst, they dealt with, like, some pirates. There was no great Jedi-Sith conflict because the Sith went to ground. There was, I'm checking the timeline right now just to see how long the gap is, but, like, I just need to, like, double check here. So, yeah, they literally spent a millennia not fighting.
Yeah, that does make sense for them not being up to par anymore then.
Yeah, so, the Bengali Uprising begins, Republic Dark Age begins.
So that wasn't the modern empire? Like
No.
they
No,
had
that
the
was like
triangle
a couple thousand years ago.
But they had the same technology.
Yes.
That's strange.
So their war technology actually regressed because they didn't use it for like literally over a millennia, except to like fight pirates. And so what ends up happening is obviously they just kind of don't have wars anymore. And at most they have like some pirate skirmishes, and like it's considered a scandal if like a couple of ships get destroyed by pirates. And the only occasional thing that happens that is like technically speaking like warlike that actually like happen very occasionally, like every couple of 100 years, is whenever the Mandalorians decide meat's back on the menu and try making an attempt.
And they don't succeed. And they're
And
the
they don't succeed.
Mandalorians.
Yeah. Occasionally, there is like a warlord that like tries to do some things, and like they get beat the fuck down in like a year. Because like, you know, galactic level like peacekeeping forces would just show up and beat their ass. And so imagine like 1,000 years of that, and they completely forget how to fight to the point where the Republic only has a volunteer army called the Volunteer Army of the Republic. And then the whole CIS thing happens, and then they don't have a fighting force beyond a small core of volunteers. And then they let all the fighting be done almost exclusively, besides the volunteer corps, by a bunch of clones fighting a bunch of droids. So they actually start reinvesting in military research and development and production. So the military tech starts jumping ahead a lot again, because now they have a reason to want it again, so they start rediscovering a bunch of old shit.
Ah, they must have rediscovered it all, because I was wondering why it manifested in the same way.
Yeah, because they mostly went and drudged up like old designs, and then just like modernized them slightly with whatever like, you know, random stuff they did figure out. And then what ends up happening is they, you know, have this war for a couple of years, and then, you know, it being controlled on both sides, it ends in a planned way, generally like in a not messy way, but like just messy enough that it necessitates having Imperial forces and garrisons on so many planets. Ooh, wow, who'd have thought? Ooh. And, so, again, all of that happens. A war is fought for a couple of years after, like, 1,000 years of peace. And then what happens is, the Empire gears itself up for, dealing with insurgents. And insurgents usually have access to slug throwers, but not blasters so much. Or if they do have access to blasters, they're non-lethal stingray blasters. And the thing about that is, oh hey, they normally have access to slug throwers. Let's kit out our stormtroopers in anti-kinetic armor. Which is also why when you see stormtroopers get shot by blasters, they just kind of fall over. Because they're in like police level Kevlar, and people are showing up with like, you know, proper like, you know, military war rated equipment against them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you shoot a slug thrower at them, it ain't gonna do too much. And so they're geared up in like police, like SWAT uniform, effectively. Fighting actual people that have actual weapons.
It also
But-
made them...
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it also made them look a little incompetent or inept when they would try and shoot something and couldn't hit it.
Yeah.
They were known for that.
And they were actually, in lore, known to be exceedingly accurate. Which has always been kind of a meme. Because the movies do not display that in any way.
Right.
But in lore, they're actually very accurate. And what ends up happening with this is they're geared out in, like, SWAT uniforms. And they're fighting, like, actual military people. But these actual military people are insurgents who have become military people in, like, the past year or two. So you have peacekeeping forces on one side that are kitted out in incorrect gear versus a bunch of, like, entirely new, like, rebel soldiers.
So do they have a military division, or is it all just a peacekeeping division?
Their military was the peacekeeping division, because what else were they really going to fight? Besides pirates and the occasional Hutt. Because they didn't know about anything like the Yuseng Vaughn.
The Rebel Alliance didn't actually end up showing up.
Oh, the Rebel Alliance, in lore, formed
Real quick.
2 years before the start of episode 4.
Oh, okay, I figured they were hiding for a while.
No, they formed, really shortly before that. Tal, how do you feel about that border?
The border looks fine. Interesting colors. Palettes are all lightsaber colors, which I like.
Okay. Just wanted to check.
Yep. By the way, obviously, like, I'll send, like, the actual thing tomorrow, but, here's the text for the opening crawl. In, like, you know, the non-scrolly format. So, there's some interesting stuff for you to look at there. But, so, you know, the Rebel Alliance literally just formed out of a bunch of independent cells. So, they're still figuring out leadership, what their actual goals are. They literally existed as an organization, like an actual alliance and organization with a hierarchy. 2 years before the start of episode 4.
Wow.
So,
But
that's why the Empire looks kind of incompetent, but also the Rebels also look fucking, like, ridiculously bad.
that's fair.
Because
That
the
also-
Imperials were given wrong equipment, and the Rebels aren't that trained.
That makes me think of the old Republic thing. Why were they wearing the same kind of stormtrooper gear?
Because, so that type of armor is actually, there's 2 different versions of it that you can get. One is anti-kinetic version, and the other is, anti-energy blaster.
Ah, okay.
So, they were in properly rated anti-kinetic blaster, anti-energy blaster stuff.
And I presume the people during the Clone Wars were equipped in anti-blaster stuff as well? Or is that not invented yet?
So, when it comes to the clone trooper armor, that is an interesting thing, because there's actually 2 phases of that. There's phase 1 and phase 2. But when it comes to Generation 1, like phase 1 clone trooper armor, so the original designs were literal garbage. Because here's the thing. They are made of plastoid. Plastoid is very interesting. Because plastoid is effectively here's the funny part about plaster and what it's actually normally used for. It's normally used for things like producing furniture, prosthetics, and anti-lethal, like effectively like rubber rounds for like, you know, put police keeping forces to, like, do non-lethal crowd control.
So, anti-kinetic armor.
Yes, because they used whatever they had on hand. And what they didn't have on hand was anti-blaster rifle ground trooper armor, because that shit was not needed. Like, ever, really. Or if they did, or if it was needed, it was like specialists who used them, not these people. And yeah, go ahead.
Like the Fett's armor and all that. Well, that's more
Yeah.
Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian Beskar armor. But that's actually rated like anti-energy, which is why you see Mandalorians get shot and then, like, they just get back up.
Yeah, but Beskar is like incredibly rare. And there's no alternative, I presume. Because it's the only thing that can
There
stop
are,
a lightsaber.
but it's like, there's enough of it to go around, but there isn't enough of it to arm an entire, like, galaxy-spanning army with it.
Oh, if you have anything of Beskar, any Mandalorian who sees you with it's going to kill you on it like a challenge coin.
Well, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, for the material, like, in order to, like, why it isn't being used by more like governments is because there isn't enough to have the logistics to harvest, process, and like manufacture enough armor to fit an entire army with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was the one advantage of bots, is that if you shoot them in a non-vital area, they can keep fighting, whereas if someone gets hit by a blaster, they usually go into shock.
Yeah. So, another interesting thing is the armor was designed by the Kaminoans for the clone trooper armor. So they had the same people that were making the biological clones design the armor. Which the problem was that they were like almost entirely unfamiliar with what armor should actually be like for human type people.
Didn't they design the clones?
Yes, they designed the clones,
But that
but that doesn't mean they actually know how the armor should work.
Yeah.
Ah.
So, they had like these designs that they went through. They made armor. Plastoid armor was capable of taking a hit or two of energy weapons without the wearer dying. Not enough to avoid them being damaged or taken out of the fight, though. So, considering that this armor was made to protect clones that most of the Republic didn't even see as actual people, they were just like, good enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
Good
I was
enough.
wondering. Yeah, it's the same company that makes the product. It wants to sell more of the product.
Yeah. So there really wasn't an incentive to protect the clones better, at least when it comes to like most things. They did end up coming out with a Phase 2 armor set, which, funnily enough, cut a bunch of different like it cut stuff like the life support module, and was more expensive.
Oh.
So kind of funny.
So it was even worse.
And then so like the clones had all of this. The droids, like the B1 battle droids, their design was intentionally sabotaged by some people. So they were not producing good quality droids. Like, actually, like, literally they got sabotaged, so they were making droids that would, like, break apart and die from, like, a couple of blaster bolts. Which is normally not the case with droids.
No.
Which is also why you see them get hit once or twice and fucking fall over and die.
The super battle droids.
Yeah. And so on one side, you have improperly kitted out soldiers that the government doesn't care about because they're replaceable and they aren't even like built to last and they aren't like actual people to them. Utilizing cheap, readily available material for their armor. And on the other side, you have a bunch of like, on purpose sabotage shittily made B1 battle droids. Which also can't stand up to blaster fire, and you have both sides using a bunch of blasters. And the clones take out 10 I think it was 10 CIS droids for every one of them that they lost, which is like, great casualty rate for them. But the problem is that obviously the droids are far more mass producible.
Yeah.
Even if they're being mass produced shittily.
You can't have an assembly line for humans.
Well, actually you can, it's just harder to scale.
It's more of a farm.
Because you can have multiple planets producing droids. For the clones, it was really just Kamino.
Yeah.
Well, also the Kaminoans didn't really want to let their secrets go anyways.
Well, yeah, that's why I said it was just Kamino.
Yeah.
And so the thing that happens is like the armor gets marginally better, the weapons get a lot better. And then, all of that ends at, like, a planned point. Palpatine, like, becomes Emperor. He gets his win, yada, yada, yada. He starts going on his fucking victory lap, which is also why Palpatine seems, like, is so much less capable after, like, in episodes 4 through 6. Palpatine's on his victory lap. In his mind, he already won, and he's literally taking his victory lap just being an asshole and getting, like, being like, why not make a planet-destroying station? Yeah, sure.
Well, to be
For
fair, it was
him,
a way to...
He didn't realize what the, what... To be fair, the rebels really shouldn't have been a threat.
Really should not have been. But the Force was literally putting as much weight on the scales as it could at the time.
Yeah. Hey, Nazca, good to see ya.
Hey, Nazca. So like, all that shit happens, and what ends up happening is they don't really have a reason to make, design, and maintain a bunch of anti-blaster rated armor, so it doesn't get made.
That's fair.
And so what you end up seeing is the clones dying in a hit or two, the droids dying in a hit or two, stormtroopers dying in a hit or two, and rebels dying in a hit or two, because all of their armor is garbage, and they're either all of their armor is garbage, or they're improperly trained, or they were sabotaged in some way. And then you go back to, like, Old Republic times, and they had that shit on lock. They had properly trained soldiers, properly rated gear, like, you know, they had everything squared away. Which is why when you look back at the Old Republic time, you see a bunch of fucking, like, absolute, like, baller badasses doing things. And it's because it's just, like, a bunch of properly trained and kitted people.
It's effectively like someone like Han Solo or someone, you know, actually talented fighters versus, yeah.
It's not even about the talent, it's about them actually just being rated and trained for the things that they're doing. And so in the game that I run, it's they're going to be, like, more competent. They're still going to have these, like, downsides and setbacks, though. It's just that I'm not going to play them like they're a bunch of little idiots.
Yeah.
So this will take place, well, if Vader exists.
2 BBY.
Yeah.
Which is 2 years before the Battle of Yavin. Which, coincidentally, is the exact time where the Rebel Alliance was actually made. Funny how that works.
Raijin! Loves you.
Hi, Regin.
Right.
But yeah, so that there's your interesting Star Wars lore ramble.
Oh, I like that, because the more information I have, the better.
Yep. But yeah, no, so a lot of funny stuff going on with all of that, and most of the funny stuff is just the people in charge just either being inexperienced or incompetent.
Yeah.
Or just not caring.
Yeah, at least we're in the 2 BBY time period where we aren't facing, like, Old Republic level threats.
Well, see, that's where you got to be careful, because there's nothing saying that your version of the events will be the same as, quote, the nice safe book version of the events.
Yeah, because the thing is, I am not just going to be following canon shit. That's boring.
That's great, because I don't know a lot of canon. So it'll make it more interesting. I mean, we're talking about making lightsaber gauntlets for dogs.
He is a Lothwolf, thank you very much.
I see we're bringing that back.
Space Pupper. Space Puppers.
Is the Court of Tau back in session?
Oh, I've been rambling the entire time. Oh yeah, by the way, it's spelled differently, but one of my favorite facts that just relates to this is that there is someone, and this is like a fucking 25,000 years before where we are. There's someone known as Zim the Despot.
Oh.
It's spelled Xim, but it's pronounced Zim. So on his treasure vault, it even has a very funny inscription. An eternal homage to Zim, whose fist shall enclose the stars and whose name shall outlive time.
No ego there.
To be fair, he was kind of a badass.
Well, tell us more about this.
Yeah, sure. So, he was effectively Space Attila.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so, he was a pre-Republic, warlord tyrant. And by the age of, I think he was, 20, he took over from his father, a pirate king guy, and, conquered an entire interstellar empire. I think he eventually ends up dying to the Hutts.
Of course. Also,
So that
Raijin, I enjoy these rants.
They are fun. So he died to the crime syndicate.
Yeah. Although, most of them are nowadays are just crime syndicates. Unfortunately for all of you, you exist in the same time period as Gracchus.
I'm not familiar with that.
Well, now
name.
you just.
Should we know about this person?
Oh,
Only you should. I'm look at media share. I'm going to be Gracchus posting for a second, and remember, this is a hut.
I mean, if I name my character Buckaroo Banzai, I'm already fighting the crime syndicate. I know how to defeat them.
Oh, that is a lot of lightsabers.
Yes, on a necklace. That is a muscular hut with abs. His name is Gracchus the Hutt, and look at that. He carries around a blaster disruptor, so that way he can turn off all blasters around him and start punching people to death.
He is certainly a character, it seems.
Gracchus exists and you're in his galaxy.
Gracchus isn't like other huts. The most dangerous thing in Gracchus's arena isn't some savage beast or mindless monster. It's Gracchus.
Those
also
are
like
those
the-
are Imperial troopers that he's throwing around. Like the actual properly trained ones.
Oh,
Like the line before. You should have warned them, Game Master. Now they'll learn the hard way.
I also like when he tells Luke fucking Skywalker, you came to the wrong moon, while winding up a punch that has, such graphic muscular detail that you can see the arm veins popping. This is why the Hutts... This kind of shit is why the Hutts still exist and why people don't fuck with them. When they start actually caring about being fit and getting onto a war footing, imagine having to fight a race of that.
I do know that in Empire at War, they are scary.
I did not know this about the Hutts. I thought it was just influence and old.
Oh,
money.
nowadays it is, yeah, but how do you think they earned that influence?
It was something that I always wondered.
I thought it was just a bunch of backstabbing and shady dealing.
Nope.
Oh, that'd be Quark and his gang.
Betting on the right armies to win wars.
Alright, break formation and engage. I almost feel bad.
Alrighty, I'm starting to get a bit sleepy, so I'll catch y'all later.
Good
Alright, see ya.
night.
Well,
Bye
Good
bye.
night.
You have a big day tomorrow. Bye-bye.
sleepy well.
Good luck, Guru.
You'll do fine, Guru. What's the worst that could
Alright.
happen?
You guys could meet a member of the Pious Dea.
Run. Oh, I already
That's-
ran. So who are those?
That's
Oh,
worse than Vader.
Well, it'd be a problem for everyone except Guru, actually.
Oh. Then it's probably a
They
big
are a
problem.
humanocentric spiritual purity cult. That at one point literally took over the Republic, by the way. And deemed basically every alien species as unredeemable due to their alleged inferiority. You
Yeah, I
guys
think
should
that-
go and meet the Pious Dea. It'll go great.
Yeah, I think that will be dangerous for all of us, because, you know, there's also guilt by association.
Oh yeah, guilt by association, and the fact that they declared something like, what was it, like 30-something crusades against the Hutts in particular. In less than a not a decade, in less than a century, on a galactic scale, called like 30-something crusades.
So Raijin says, Garo, just remember you can bribe your storyteller with bread.
We bribe you with hash browns.
Oh yeah, but Gideon doesn't exactly have much control over things.
Yeah, but Gaiman still is nice to bribe.
That is true. You generally tend to get a bunch of cute squeaking out of it. So
Yes.
Very cute,
The
squeaky.
squeaking and giggles. And who knows? I could, disarm an opponent for a turn or two while you guys make a better plan to run away.
Oh, that's what we'll do if Vader shows up.
You can't
Now
attack
just-
us. Go ahead.
Just remember not to get disarmed.
Oh.
Squeaky space demons.
Yeah, I mean, that's greater sundering when they just literally take your arm off.
That's okay. Furvis already had that happen. Well, leg, but you know.
I bet there's a story to
that
that.
was a
one.
four-leg, so you know that still counts.
Yeah, first he lost his paw, then he lost his maw.
Oh. Oh. I was like, his jaw is fine. Doesn't have a mechanical jaw, and then I was like, oh wait,
I still don't get it.
listen, Garo.
You are adorable, Geemond.
Demon is adorable.
Aw.
Adorable and squeaky. And powered by space hash browns. That's what Gaiman's character's gonna do when they get enough money to retire. They're gonna open up a McDonald's. Hash browns across the
No,
universe.
no, not a McDonald's. Because that would require him to serve something other than hash browns.
Well,
It'll be the hash brown house.
yeah, 'cause
The hash
McDonald's
house.
should mean-
There you go.
With Star Wars McDonald's, you'd be using that plastomer or whatever.
A house of taters. We serve nothing but taters here, precious.
Yeah, it would be Star Wars McDonald's that would try and use the same material as
Hash
the
browns
armor.
are part of the horde.
Yep.
Gonna make me hungry talking about this food.
Well, it's always good to have, snackos and emergencies.
Yep, I know tomorrow I'm probably gonna have a can of Monster Energy sitting here, frozen. I'm gonna have probably 4 or 5 granola bars and probably 2 or 3 bottles of water.
Yes, definitely have the water. Demon will have squeaks and hash browns.
It is gonna be exciting. I'll probably have to practice tomorrow morning. Nah, I'll be
Practice what, though?
Yeah. Good night, Ido.
Night, Adam.
Good night, Ido. Have good EP.
Night night.
clearly rolling d10s. So do we give the storyteller our character sheets, or how does that?
Yeah.
You can click the share button in the upper right to do that.
Yeah, just make sure you change it to, anyone with, can view.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, what I just end up doing is, you all send me your character sheets. I throw them all in a folder, and when we move to a new character sheet, you update your character sheet and send it to me, and I throw it in the game folder for, my personal thing, because that way I can properly know what each of you have and balance things accordingly.
Speaking of, what is the, what were the items that you were recommending for me, Tal? Did you
shit, I don't
actually
remember
send them
right
in text? I don't remember if they were in text or voice.
It was probably voice. I'll go
Yeah.
check to see if I put it in text. I don't think I did, but
If you could put it in text, that would be appreciated. Because
Yeah, but I
obviously I
think I
can't
just-
do it right now, so... And then again, I'll be ending in a half hour, so,
That's good.
But while you're looking for that, I am going to share another Star Wars Old Republic video.
Oh, okay.
Just because they are really freaking awesome.
Yeah, I definitely didn't put it in text. I know I did a I know I did it in voice, but I'm gonna go see if it got mentioned.
Alright. Well, enjoy, Guru. And others. Okay, we get it.
Korriban, ancient birthplace of the Sith. We believed ruins were all that remained
Y'all
of
should
their
go there.
evil empire.
Go to
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
I swear.
Besides the
I
fact that
had
it's
no
gotten
idea
renamed
what was
in the
those
meantime.
crates. I'm innocent.
You were smuggling Sith artifacts, Captain.
Fine, keep the artifacts. Just give me back my ship.
Eyes front.
Just inspecting the troops, Corporal.
Sotil, what's wrong?
I sense a great darkness.
Sith Empire has returned. We must warn the Republic.
Our shuttles can't outrun those fighters. Well, guess who's got the fastest ship in the sector?
Station defenses breach. All hands evacuate.
Look out!
Yeah, even random Joe Schmoes just badass in the old Republic. Well, of course, still limited.
My shit!
Will she fly?
She's not pretty, but she's tough.
Captain, prep your ship. This is our fight.
And
I don't-
This.
Yes, this scene.
T7, prep the iron cannons.
And this is absolutely getting copyright claim, but I don't care. Because they actually used the movie music.
Yeah.
Go, Satil. You must walk a different path.
Just the absolute disrespect of the, just bump their ship out of the way. Also, that guy is an actual Sith, as in the race.
Yeah.
Keep them off me. Hyperdrive's almost ready.
They've escaped, Master. You failed.
No, Malgus. This is only the beginning.
Yes. After 1,000 years, Korriban is ours again. Welcome home.
Sith.
Yeah, you fail once and you die.
Yeah. Well, obviously you've already failed once, so what's the point?
Well, tell that to Vader.
When did Vader fail?
He should have never taken the high ground.
But technically that was before he was Sith.
Well, he did, like, just get recruited, but he wasn't exactly, like, you know.
Trained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's one more video that I'll share here. Because they had 3 intro videos for all of this.
Also, at one point, a droid... I'm totally going to scare you guys by just having a droid voice change and refer to you as meatbags.
Okay.
Oh, do you not know what that means?
I don't know the reference, no.
Oh. Oh, that'll be fun.
Oh, lovely.
No,
I'm going to assume that I'm going to assume that it's a virus of some kind.
Also, yes, GibGab, we're achieving maximum profitability here.
What do you mean? I'll be becoming a React tuber? A little bit,
Welcome to the second episode of Duke Reacts.
No, I know who we're going to do that with.
Our time has come. For 300 years, we prepared, we grew stronger. While you rested in your cradle of power, believing your people were safe and protected.
I will definitely say one thing that I have never understood is the concept of, yes, let's walk up to the person with the lightsaber.
Yeah. What else are you gonna do? Run away?
Keep your distance and use the blaster you've got for what it's meant for. Rage!
Well, that doesn't really work too well against lightsabers in particular.
Yeah, they're just gonna bounce it back at you.
But it is still a higher chance of survivability being away from the thing that can cut you in half.
That is true.
Might not be by much, but it is still higher chance.
They didn't have the common sense feat.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
I hope one of my Force-sensitive characters ends up taking the sense.
Oh, I was actually planning to pick that up.
You were trusted
Okay,
to
good. That's a
lead
good
the
idea.
Republic, but you were deceived. As our powers of the dark side have blinded you.
This is one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah. Knock, knock!
You assumed no force could challenge you. And now... finally, we have returned.
See, now, at this point, if I was one of those Jedi realizing we're going to go down, I'd nuke the place.
You think a nuke would stop them?
Yes.
Also, this is on Coruscant, where, you know... Yeah, the entire planet is a city.
Yeah, but I mean, they're right there. They just crashed a starship in there. It's not a reactor's power source.
I think you're misunderstanding how important the surface level of Coruscant is, and the fact that that would be like nuking Silicon Valley, because some terrorists showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally what it would be like.
You were deceived. And now your republic shall fall.
I guess it's more like Silicon Valley mixed with also Washington, D.C.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this happens. Coruscant's getting blown to
Oh,
bits.
Coruscant gets blown to bits constantly.
Yeah, it happens every other day. Or every other year, you know.
I detonate a tactical nuke. I take everyone out in a 5-kilometer radius. Coruscant goes, we put on some new paint, rebuild it in a week. I've taken out the lead of the Sith Empire. Cheap at the cost.
You hope that it works on them, plus all those ships in orbit.
I didn't say I'd get the ships in orbit. I'm taking out the bunch of Sith and probably the Sith Lord that's right there in front of me.
Yeah, but it's also the light side here.
Yeah, we're playing with plot points and, you know, forced contrivances, so yeah.
It's what non-Force users might try and do, but yeah.
No, it's what the dark side would do. The dark side wouldn't care.
Like, that's why the dark side is like, if we need to get rid of that planet, instead of building a ginormous Death Star, why don't we just put some warp drives on some asteroids, accelerate them up to 75 C of light speed, and giggle?
Because that doesn't actually work in actual lore, if you disregard Disney's bullshit. There's a reason that people weren't doing that all the time, and it's because it literally doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Well, it works in reality.
Oh, yeah, but in Star Wars, it does not work like that.
Yeah.
Because of how hyperspace works. No, because of how hyperspace works. It literally does not work like that.
Forced plot.
You are straight up going into an alternate dimension. You would be accelerating things in an alternate dimension.
It's folding space, not... It's like...
Yeah, but that's going to hyperspace. I'm talking about going up to percentages of light speed, which is not hyperspace. That is
in that case, yeah, no, they could totally do that. The problem is just that that doesn't work too well when there are plenty of ships out there that could just blow up the asteroid when you do that.
Yeah, they pick it up
with
on
their
radar.
advanced targeting.
And then we see the starship battles where, I mean, they literally have to do walking broadsides. Again, forced plot points.
Also, hyperspace is not folding space. It is literally an alternate dimension in Star Wars. It is not just like, you know, fucking with reality. You are literally going to a different dimension.
Oh yeah, excuse me. Planets can have planetary shields, but no, I chuck enough rocks at it, I can guarantee to get through it. Rocks are cheap. And then
But
at the end of the day, it's like
construction.
Well, yeah, but the problem is that you'd have to get them in an area where you would be able to, at lower than light speed, actually get it there in an appreciable amount of time, and guarantee that nothing would get in its path or detect it the entire way. At which point you're within sensor range doing it the entire time.
Yeah, that amount of energy, nukes are a lot more portable. Like what they did to Mandalore, they glassed the surface of the planet.
Yeah, but that happens, like, a lot, actually.
Because it works.
Yeah, then people rebuild there anyway.
And even if I don't take out the planet directly, I'm still destroying the planet by throwing enough gravity wells grazing it. Its own gravity is going to crush itself.
Okay, how are you throwing gravity wells at it?
If I'm throwing enough asteroids at it, they're
How are you throwing
gravity
asteroids
well.
without getting detected?
I just put engines on them and fire them at range.
Okay, how are you going to do that without being within sensor range who can sense those engines?
And how are you gonna steer them?
The steering isn't the problem.
Yeah, steering's no problem at all. I mean, geez, we've got telescopes that can pick up planets from, thousands of light years away.
But
Again,
yeah, no, you're like, how are you doing that without getting detected?
Well, how long is the range of these detectors? Like, I mean...
Star systems away.
Okay.
At which point, you start having to follow hyperspace routes, which are highly monitored. Because, here's the thing. You go into an alternate dimension for hyperspace, but the problem is that there are connection points, and if there is sufficient debris in an area, it can fuck with connection points. And so those are very specifically constantly monitored, like, hyperspace buoys put in hyperspace, all of that kind of stuff. And putting too much debris in the way in real space can fuck with things when it comes to knocking people off course in hyperspace. So those are all highly monitored, and you'd be trying to strap engines to asteroids in a highly monitored field of space. If you're trying to do it from outside of the sensor space of a planet and send it on a correct course where you're guaranteed to not have it run into any errant gravity wells.
Is Geeman going to sleep?
Well, first of all, there's a dart here now.
Hello, Dart.
Oh, hey, Dart.
Hey, Dart.
I upgraded you.
Rockruff?
I made you better.
Rockruff?
You were inferior before. Now you are good.
Rockruff?
But yeah, no, in all seriousness, that's part of the reason why they don't do the whole strap rockets to asteroids, because, realistically, that would work if you could actually get it off, which you kind of can't.
And there might be cheaper options.
The cheaper option is, well, it is the cheapest option because real space engines are not that expensive in comparison. The problem is just, like, where are you going? Like, yeah, sure, rocks are plentiful, but where are you going to go to do this without getting detected? Because the answer is, you'd only be able to do that to, like, maybe some poorly monitored outer rim planets that don't have many hyperspace connections to them.
I mean, it might actually be good more as a defensive tactic.
Chuck asteroids at planets is a defensive tactic.
Well, you could do it. You could throw it at incoming fleets. The problem is you'd have to know which direction the fleet is coming in from, and pre-accelerate them. Which you can do that a little bit with some technology, where you're able to see the waves in hyperspace in order to get a couple minutes of warning. But that's still only a couple minutes of warning, and it tells you the direction, but it doesn't give you exact locations.
Yeah, the amount
So
of
you'd be taking pot shots in an area of space.
Yeah, you might
the
as well just
shotgun
set up
approach.
a minefield in that area at that point. If you know where they're going to land, set mines there so when they drop out of hyperspace, they land in the minefield.
Again, you run into the problem of the super magical, galactic range star sensors problem. And then it's like, well, if I'm jamming them, they'll notice my jamming from other sensors because they'll be noticing the anomaly. And it becomes whose fish becomes the bigger fish to tap out.
Yeah, and jammers do specifically state that, like, they block, like, all the sensors in system, which, good. The problem is, now everyone knows that something is jamming, and they are able to figure out from what direction if they're good enough.
if you're playing defensive, I guess that's not as big of a deal if you want to confuse your enemies by jamming the incoming sensors on their end, but yeah.
Yeah, but at that point, like, you know, you're forcing a blindfold on both yourself and your opponent, and you don't know if your opponent cares about the blindfold.
Well, if you're setting a trap.
Well,
but,
yeah, but that also, in order to lay a trap that's specific enough, you kind of need to know exactly where they're going to come out at.
that is fair. And they're probably going to react if they see, you know, your
if they drop in system and they see everything's jammed, yeah, they're going to start working on that. Especially because there are ship modules that are ECCM and let you break through jamming.
Yeah, just
I know Gib-Gab. I mean, that's how a certain current war is being fought. It's just same tactic. Like, why send troops or ships when I could send 6,000 89-cent remote drones out and let them burn themselves out trying to knock them all down?
All right, I'm gonna hop off now.
All right,
sleep well.
You rest well.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, Hash Brown.
How you doing,
to be fair, the
Zeta?
CIS's mines were actually autonomous droids that could seek out the target and would then proceed to like rip into and sabotage the target. It wasn't like just setting up a bunch of dummy explosive mines, really.
Yeah, mines in space without some sort of tracking device usually don't work too well. Too much space.
Yeah, which is why, like, generally speaking, you don't lay, like, mines there, but you can lay traps. It just requires that you have, like, a degree of specificity in the exit location or have the manufacturing power in order to turn that direction into one giant, like, trap.
And of course, I'm interested in this because, you know, we just had a cannibal solar flare yesterday, so that was interesting. Which is why parts of Puerto Rico are still in the dark. We were very lucky it didn't Carrington us.
Carrington us?
The Carrington event, 1859, one of the largest solar flares currently recorded. There have been bigger. Basically flensed the planet to the point where telegraph poles were spontaneously combusting. The machines were running off of literally, you know, the static in the air. The light was so bright that you could read a newspaper at midnight outside. It was very, very powerful. And basically, if it happened today, modern day electronics would probably explode.
Anything not in a Faraday box.
And the problem with yesterday's event was because it was a cannibal one, it hit a whole lot faster than was anticipated. So instead of the several days of advanced warning, it was like, we had less than 18 hours.
Can't you just put everything inside of like a big metal box that's electronic? Well, I guess that doesn't help for the more large infrastructure.
Yeah, like nuclear power plants, power stations, the wires themselves, most people's computers, aircraft.
Well, you can ground aircraft if you have 18 hours worth of warning.
Yeah, but you've got nowhere to put them. I mean, the average civilian airliner airport has no hangars to put, you know, that many jets in, and those things aren't built to be Faraday cages. They're just aluminum on a strut.
So, Tal, are you ready for the return of the CIS? Or I suppose in this case it would be the FIS.
The Furvis Independent Systems?
Yes. Oh, I am totally planning to have Furvis just have a small droid army.
Yeah. Well, technically, I think it'd be, if you're using that, it'd be the Furvis of Independent Systems. Because it's the Confederacy of Independent Systems is the actual name.
Yeah, fair enough. But either way, definitely going to need some stats for various droids.
Yeah, no, that isn't going to be a problem.
We need to put a blanket on Sleepy Dart.
I'm not sleepy yet.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, is he even sleepy?
I mean, I won't deny the blanket, but I'm not sleepy.
Also, behold your upgrades. We have made you better, Dart. We will improve you again.
Oh, you finally got that last pixel built.
Alright, I am going to hop off and go to bed because I gotta get shit ready tomorrow, like, before game.
Yeah.
Could you send that list of stuff before you go sleep?
Yeah, I will. I'm just hopping off voice because I'm gonna go grab, like, a drink and start settling down.
Alright.
I gotta find
Sleep
that
well.
trait.
You good?
I believe light weapon proficiency is in the Scar Feet proposal document thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I didn't even know it existed. That explains why I didn't pick it. Thank you. I saw the armor one. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I think that one's still sitting over there.
Those will be moved over. I'm moving over the movement and the proficiency feats for the next update. I'm
Yeah,
just
'cause I
doing
kinda
them in
need that.
batches because it is annoying to deal with
Spreadsheets.
tables.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna hop off. I'll get the small list over to you. It was a pretty small list anyway.
Yeah.
Does everything else look good?
Let me double check your thing.
It's the Scar system, of course. What else would we run a system in, Shadow Wolf?
Star.
So I will point out that on the EXP information, you put power 1 on a blaster and additional target on a blaster, but I don't know which one you put that on because the two blasters you have listed
I only have
no
one blaster.
Well, the two pistols, sorry. The light weapons you have. The two weapons that you have don't have the EXP that you've put into them listed.
Oh, is there a spot for that? Let me put that in there.
It's the EXP thing. The left box is the current that you spent, and the right is the limit.
Oh, okay. And then that's all on the one. That makes sense.
Yep.
And I don't know why it's defaulting to 30. I'll have to replace that.
Because that's the standard action standard. You have a quick action weapon.
Ah.
So it has less EXP cap.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I was all set for tomorrow. Thanks for the help. Yeah, I ran out of slots, so I had to kind of just make my own slots because I had so many modifiers. Yes?
We'll make it better when the next update comes.
Yeah, because a lot of this stuff is before I actually went and made all of that shit, so it's just kind of like out of date. It's the same thing if you're gonna be putting like traits on armor. It's a little cramped. It does not have the proper space for that.
Yes.
So, I will note that the blaster, you have it listed as power 3.
Ah, is that... Let me make
You
sure that's
purchased
correct.
1 power on it.
Doesn't it default start with 2? Maybe I didn't know that. So that...
No.
Okay. So then it would be power 1.
It's power 1, yeah.
Yep, I can fix that.
And for the accuracy roll and power roll sections down there, that's just where you put, like, over on the right, you see the attack information. Like, to the right of that box. The attack information box.
Okay, attack information, that's,
Special, marksman, you'd put the accuracy, add any accuracy modifiers you have on the weapon, which you don't have any, and put that in the accuracy roll box. And then do the same for the marksman special power one.
Okay, so this is not in the start sheet. This is in the specialties, feats, and... No. Weapon sheet.
No, this is the stat... This is just on, like, the stat sheet. Like, the front sheet.
Okay. So I need to change the power. So these weapons have power 0, I presume?
Well, they start with 0, but they require you to have at least 1, like, on purchase.
Oh, I didn't know that. So then I have to rework that second slug thrower. Thank you for letting me know about that.
Yeah, well, you literally just need to put 1 power on it.
Okay. What is... I guess I misunderstood how we were doing weapons then.
Oh boy.
Because, well, this was legacy for when we, like, first put together the weapon thing, but it was originally that in order for it to be a valid weapon, you had to have the minimum power listed in terms of, like, the thing. Like, that was just traits that were on the weapon, but, like, you know.
Okay, so...
I mean, if you want to change that, we could change that.
No, let me just bring up your item list. So... Oh yeah, that doesn't help because those don't have stats. Alright, let me bring up the actual sheet. The armor and weapon math. So, you have a light tier 1... You know, you see what I've got highlighted.
Yeah.
Do you just buy that and by default you have 1 power with it, right? That's what I understood. Provided you know you've got proficiency.
Yeah, but it still uses up. You still uses up the XP.
Okay, so they have to.
That's what we decided a while ago.
Oh. Okay.
Or it still uses up the XP.
Okay. I was misunderstanding that.
Me too.
Yeah. Mostly because we came to the decision that weapons would not refund and basically be purchasable XP for offense. At least directly with stuff. So... I mean, you know, if you want to change that, we can pretty easily change that. That's just how we decided it worked forever ago, and then we never changed it. So I was just going off of that assumption.
I am okay with it functioning that way. That's what I was preferring, but I was under the impression that we had settled on it working where, you know, you buy the weapon and it just has... You could shoot somebody for 1 power.
Oh,
without
no,
any XP investment aside from, you know, purchasing the proficiency.
I definitely misunderstood minimum damage. I thought that was like the starting damage that it came with, and then maximum was the number of ones you could upscale it.
Well, yeah, it is. It's just you also have to purchase that minimum in order to use the weapon.
Okay. I am good with that. I thought we were doing it a different way, and I was never really comfortable with it, because it's like, well, that just makes weapons overpowered compared to moves.
Yeah, no, it's literally just, so it does come with that power. It comes with that minimum power. in order to utilize the weapon, you must purchase the minimum power.
Okay, so I should get rid of the other weapon because I don't have enough EXP to use both.
You could keep the weapon and just not have it be usable, because you'll get EXP pretty fast at the start. It's 5 XP.
Okay. It's
Yeah,
only
you get
5
XP every session.
Yeah, 1 power is 5 XP. And literally by the end of session 1, you could have the gun be functional.
Mm-hmm.
In character, it could literally just be as simple as, oh hey, you're working on the guns in maintenance. It really doesn't matter. You could just have it.
I can definitely look around to see where I can scrounge 5 XP, but thank you for letting me know about that. And then there was something you said I had to do with accuracy or something?
I was saying if you have like any accuracy mods, you see the accuracy roll section underneath the thing? Accuracy roll, power roll, F roll, and FTC. F is the effect, by the way. So accuracy roll on the right, you see the attack information there. Blasters are special, so you go to the special section, go to marksman because it's a ranged weapon, and you take the accuracy value listed there.
I'll write this down. Alright, special section. Accuracy. Okay.
And then you see how that says 4. On the right on the attack information?
Attack information is...
in the stat sheet to the right of the boxes that were.
Oh, okay. All the way on the right. It says attack information, accuracy special. It says marksman is 4.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that is your natural accuracy with marksman weapons that use special.
Okay.
And
so
what
that
you do is you take any accuracy modifiers you have on the weapon, which is 0, and you add that, and you get 4. So you put that there. And then next, it's the same thing with the power roll. In order to grab that, add the power of the weapon.
Oh, so that's... Oh, okay.
So then that becomes 3, and that's what you roll for power on it.
Okay.
So now when you look at this weapon, in combat, you know, okay, I have an accuracy roll of 4 and a power roll of 3. If I shoot someone, I roll 4 dice and then 3 dice if I hit.
Thank you. That makes a lot of sense. I was looking... I didn't see the attack information tab. That makes it a lot easier to look at.
Yep. That also exists on the move slot and weapon slot pages. It's just on the leftmost area then. Over there.
Half tempted to wire that to a macro. But
It auto-calcs. It pulls across pages to auto-calc.
Okay. Alright, so then...
You don't gotta change anything with it. So it's the same thing with the pistol. For when you do stuff with that, so it'll just be physical instead of special. And you can just follow the same process.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And you can also see what your ranges are on the bottom right, because this is all tier 1 stuff, so it's on level with you. And so you can see that, for example, your short range with these weapons, because they're all range short, is 25 feet. So you can shoot someone within 25 feet at no increased difficulty, and then for every 25 feet of range band that you go beyond that, you get +1 difficulty on accuracy and power.
So 20 plus 5 per 5 attributes. So it's 20. Yeah.
Yeah. The way that it works on weapons is it'd be 20 plus 5 per tier, but it's a tier 1 weapon, so it's +5. It's the same range.
Okay. Thanks for the help, Delved.
Yep. So you aren't really going to need to roll for combat in your first session unless you do some really wacky things, but just so you know how the sheet works, that's what those boxes are for and how they work. They're just there to like help you figure out, okay, when I look at this, I don't want to have to do math. I'll do it once, set it here, and left to right in order of things that matter. Because it's accuracy, power, an effect roll to see if the effect goes off, and if the effect goes off, what's the DC for it?
Make sure to update the weapon information on the weapon slots. Because...
Oh yeah, no, it's horrifically out of date.
Yep.
This is why I literally said, oh yeah, by the way, all of these weapon things, out of date.
Okay.
On the sheet. All the weapon and armor stuff, it is out of date. I made this version of the sheet a long time ago, and when I say a long time, it was a couple of months ago, but for the past few months, that means it's horrifically outdated.
Fair enough.
Besides that, it looks pretty good. I'll double check the XP amounts.
Alright, I appreciate that.
Rank up. Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
Without fail.
Raided my stream with 20 viewers.
You know there's a command for this, Zim.
There is.
I mean, okay, not a command, but a button on your dashboard.
There is?
Yeah. Stop rates for 30 bits or an hour.
I had no idea.
Hi, thanks for the raid, Danica.
Yes. Thank you for the raid, Danica. Would you like a regular shout out or a random clip from your channel brought up? And no, it's fine. I really appreciate the raid. Thank you for sharing your community with us. I was just kind of planning to end. But hey, I at least now know that I can stop raids in the future.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a quick screenshot to your DMs.
Oh, I found it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fine.
Yeah, I found it. I just had no idea that that was even a thing.
I know Locke. I talked to Locke. Oh, hold on. Let me go first.
The shot bottom you.
Oh, it's. Is that a PMC?
Yeah, what I was gonna say is I know I was chatting with Lockley, and Lockley ended up putting a submission in the user voice because this is a wonderful thing in the dashboard, but to my knowledge, there's no API for it. Because, like, I would love it for it to be something I could either put in Sammy or just have a / command that I could just have on a hotkey to basically be like, okay, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to probably end soon. Let me just stop raids. Because unfortunately, this involves having to tab out and then press it.
Yeah. But either way, thank you so very much for that raid, Danica. I really do appreciate it. I could go a little bit longer. I just wasn't planning on it. But yeah, we're kind of just chilling with some Cosmoteer while talking a lot about Star Wars because we've got a Star Wars campaign starting later today at this point. A little over about 14 hours from now. It's gonna be great.
And I'm here just to do dart things.
Dart cute.
Well, heck.
Seda cute.
Double heck. Also, Zim, I feel like I should be worried.
Why?
Kickout sent me a message.
Oh?
If this is a screenshot of model printing time.
What the heck is Tickout working on?
I have no idea.
Yeah, this sounds like a valid reason to be afraid.
I mean, I have some logical guesses, but like... It'd be very out of character for me to speculate. Actually, no, it would be very much in character for me to speculate.
Well, what's your speculation?
I mean, Tech Out was asking a lot of questions on badge references and what about the size a badge would be.
Oh. Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Danica. I know you've been playing that a lot. Well, sounds like you might be getting a 3D, Starlight badge soon. Either that or they just wanted to print it out for themselves.
I mean, the other equally concerning question that was asked of me through all this is, how many players there are.
Oh.
So, I have no clue what's going on. I feel like there's probably some element of misdirect here.
It sounds like that is possible.
So, like, all I'm just going to say is I'm afraid.
It sounds like you should be.
Yeah. Also, Zim, just so you know, some of those items that I sent you on the list are consumable, so you might want to consider more of them. I'm just letting you know that, like, you know, they exist, so look at what they do.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna go look through everything. And yeah, what number did you say? Did you include Comet?
I included the concept of Comet.
Ah.
That was like... Actually, what did I say? That was like, you know, that's a good question. We had at 1.8 players, currently down to 5 with the prospects of 6. And I basically sent to Tick Out all the official art, which includes Shade, so...
Oh.
I feel like I may have just done a bit of a faux pas against Raijin. I do apologize.
Well, I'm gonna go and leave. Like I said, I was going to like 15 minutes ago before getting into like a character discussion and then sending Zim a list of items. So I'm gonna dip out now. Like I said, I was.
Sleep well.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same, or
Rest
I
well.
might get mad. Can't be up all night every night. Take care, everyone.
Oh, good night.
I'll see you tomorrow. It'll be
Bye
fun.
forever.
Oh, if I could say goodbye to death forever to the god of death, I don't know. Is that
I mean,
just in with that hoodie?
Oh god, that'd be a fun idea for the Dart Multiverse Tour. Just come back, it's like, yeah, I said goodbye to death.
No, but it was a pleasure meeting Asher. Take care, everyone.
Good night.
But yes, I feel like I may have potential the concept of a blanket.
The concept of a blanket? Is that a reference I'm not getting?
Oh, in the conversation earlier, Prakash was talking about putting a blanket on Dart.
Ah.
And then Raijin came in saying that Comet's here for a blanket for Dart.
Yeah, how could you forget about my boyfriend?
I didn't Look, I specifically said in my answer, that's a good question because we had a 1.8. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, actually no. That's your DMs. I need Tick Out's DMs. Yeah, I said specifically, good question, because we had 1.8 players, currently down to 5 with the prospects of a 6. So I didn't mention Comet by name, but I had Comet in mind. I'm innocent. Rockruff.
Asher will remember this. You show up for your tour, and Asher's just like, you!
Me?
I know what you did.
Enlighten me.
You forgot about my boyfriend.
I don't even know who you are.
Your lack of knowledge will not save you.
As I said, do enlighten me. I don't like a lack of knowledge.
Oh, a smart guy, huh?
Are you always this sassy?
Yes.
One of those types.
A little bit. But you see, I'm a god, so I'm allowed to be.
And tell me, what is a god to a non-believer?
I mean, you don't have to believe in me for me to still have domain over you. Just because you don't believe in me does not mean that I don't actually exist.
But if enough don't, we could put that to the test.
You could try.
It's only a concept of a boyfriend for Asher, apparently. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I would be very amused with the idea of Comet coming in and just talking about Asher like a former lover. Like, just being like, yeah, I dated death once.
That would be hilarious.
And just add to the confusion of like, wait. Like, you're the one Comet's been talking about?
Dated death once, but now you're about to date the dead. Right in. Come join voice.
It's like, I dated death. You know, I just wanted something with just a touch more life in it.
Valerie needs to be faster. But how to improve the speed?
Oh my goodness. You remind me of him.
Oh my god. Well, we can at least get some steering thrusters, but I don't think those are actually going to give me any proper anything. I think I'm gonna have to just go with, kind of bite the bullet here.
Can't see the stars from the underworld. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of getting like Comet being former astronaut vibes now.
Poor me. So you're breaking up with me just because you can't see the stars?
Oh god, just imagining Comet just doing the "it's not you, it's me" speech.
It's not you, it's the stars.
I love them. I want to dance with them.
It's not you. It's your Digifinder group.
Oh, well, I could just get a new one. Alright, how fast is the comet now?
I don't know how many
Conceptually.
Not fast enough. I need more!
And Seda, do you really think Comet has it in him to be a former astronaut?
It depends upon what era of astronaut we're talking about.
Accidental.
Okay, now I'm just imagining just Comet before their arrival in Starlight was just basically launched up like a manhole cover.
Oh yeah, I guess since this is the dart, I should change the shield color. Make it blue.
This pleases me greatly. I love the double shield because you can't have too much protection.
Exactly.
No, I think if that were the case, it would be more like Comet was a janitor and just cleaning out the space shuttle, and then accidentally pressed the wrong button.
Oh my goodness. Oh god, now I'm just imagining Comet as a janitor on Space Station 13. Like, I'm not just a janitor.
That is in fact my favorite role on Space Station 13, so...
Like, I'm not just a janitor, I'm a space janitor. I'm awesome.
No, he's ferocious.
I mean, they're not mutually exclusive.
Don't worry, I already have the concept of a backstory for Comet.
Hey, look, I can't be upset. I did this to myself.
It's even more upsetting because you changed the word the second time you read it out, and I'm not sure if it's better.
No, no, it's not.
Like, oh, now you want a prospect comet? Hmm.
Hey, look, I'm just stating the facts. I have no clue what's happening. I'd like to know what more is happening.
I would like to know it too. What's Tikal doing?
A moment when you realize that your flagship cannot go into hyperdrive. All the other ships in my fleet can jump into hyperspace, but not Comet. I need to remedy this.
Jet, what are you installing on me? That tickles.
Don't worry about it. You took the motion sickness pill I gave you, right?
Yeah, but what does that have to do with anything?
Well, you're about to go very, very fast.
Again?
Again.
That's how I lost my previous boyfriend.
I am certain that it will be perfectly fine. Totally. Maybe. Hopefully.
And that's how the Dark World Tour had a conspicuous comet just following along every time.
I like this.
It just starts back from the world tour. Just with a comment in tone, just like, he followed me home.
He followed you home. Can I keep him?
No, though I'd feel the more amusing thing would be Dart just being like, everyone, please just don't try to think about this too hard. I met Comet in another reality, and he claims to be our biggest fan. And he kept on following me, and I couldn't say no. So, comment, everyone comment.
You just turned me into that NPC from Oblivion. Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of stuff at 1:30 in the morning. I'm sorry. The brain is on fumes. I don't know how I'd met how I'd beat Comet, so I'm making it up on the spot.
So I find a perfectly harmless book, and you have big issues with that, but you go off and find some random person and bring them back, and that's okay?
You know what? I'm just gonna go for a swim.
Even funnier about this concept is that in universe, you just like kind of it happens while you bleed, basically. Like you don't actually disappear from the Starlight world to go into the other world for a substantial period of time.
Just it's a blink.
So you're just there, and then you blink, and you're just like, "So everyone, I have this dog now."
I have a friend that I like you all meet.
Weirdly, I found him in the Digimon world. Don't ask what a Digimon is. Yes, he is a Pokemon.
I feel like Jet would just accept it, but Argus is going to be so confused by that. And Argus will probably decide that Dart is now a crime type because he kidnapped the dog.
I didn't kidnap anyone.
Well, yeah, you pup-napped him. Not sure how that distinction makes it any better. Raijin, do you want orange or red shields?
Red.
You got it. I don't know why they stopped working on that, but okay. I have so many shields on my ships. Except for my hauler, but that should not be in combat anyways. Why is StarCraft music so good?
Yes.
I accept that. This answer is pleasing to us. Alright, I've done a bunch of upgrades. Let's see what the speed is on these now. Alright. The Valerie is at an acceptable speed. And very good maneuverability, I approve. And the Comet is also at an acceptable speed. Perfect.
I'm not acceptable, I'm awesome.
Yes, you are. Although, can I put an even bigger engine on this? Oh, well, considering how many things are without power on this, I think we need to do some more work. Maybe get some more crew. We'll put a reactor here and there. Boom. I feel like we should have enough crew. But we'll go and put in some more seating rooms anyways. Put those there. Make it so. I am going to be very sad if I ever lose any of these ships. So I'll probably lose them in the next fight. Especially because the next fight is going to be taking on my first pirate stronghold. That might be part of why I'm getting everything upgraded now. And I'll go ahead and make a probe droid while I'm at it. Oh, I never purchased that apparently. Never mind. Well, maybe. How expensive are they? Oh, it's only 400? Yeah, I can do that. I cannot afford a single other crew member. Yay! Okay, well, probe droid time. Definitely the housing, Shadow Wolf. Housing is a lot more expensive than food. And I mean, if it's unlimited housing for a year, then hey, we go and I just go and get myself a house. Right, I forgot that these
for a
things
year.
barely work. Well, yeah, but after that, then I would just have to pay the mortgage on it, sure, but at least I've already got the loan and everything.
The mortgage, and then if anything in that house fails, you'd have to pay for that.
Hey,
Houses can
seriously.
be pretty expensive.
What was that?
I said houses can be pretty expensive. Just as a devil's advocate, if it's unlimited food for a year, then you can just get all the gourmet food you want. Yeah, nothing really. The same. Just imagine, you could eat as many patty melts as you want every single day.
Sure, sure. But that would be very unhealthy for me.
You could get several years supply of meal replacement shakes of a very high quality brands. And then you'd have unlimited food for several years.
I mean, I'm assuming that this, because it is a limited thing for a year, you know? So I'm assuming that it would be something that I would have to consume within that year.
Well, then by the same logic, why would you think you get to keep the house after the year?
Well, afterwards, you know, it goes back to normal, where I have to pay for the housing and or pay for the food. If I can't afford to pay for the housing afterwards, then I'd lose it.
I mean, I don't think that will work simply because it goes against the spirits of the deal and, how that always works out. But hypothetically speaking, your best option would instead just to make a year out of doing a hustle of just whichever one you pick, just flip it.
Just what?
take houses and then sell them, flip them.
Oh.
Just take houses and sell them for money.
Mm.
Just stockpile the money. Or, just buy a bunch of expensive food and sell it at a small discount.
I like your thought. I like that idea.
And considering how things are right now, I think you'd be able to turn a better profit off of the food in this circumstance. Because you could just, pick up things like quality steaks and quality meat and sell it at a what would have been a small loss to the seller, but is a huge profit to you. Just reverse scalp the prices.
Yeah, yeah. Alright. Actually, instead of flying over there, I'm gonna do the smart thing hyper jump over. Yeah, especially considering it's only, you know, 2 Hyperium for that. The whoosh. Accept that bounty. And we're gonna hyperspace back. And now we've got money to hire more crew. Oh, I need more fame for... Really? I am... Okay, fine. You can take some from this one. In fact, I'm gonna officially just abandon this ship. Except I've got nowhere for the extra crew from it. Fine, I will continue to own you for now. Well, this is my resource. This is my freighter. I acquired this one because it got blown up by pirates, but was basically entirely salvageable. So I decided to keep it and repair it and keep it. But it's also horribly designed. So I'm planning to essentially just get rid of it. I just haven't done that yet. Time to make a big ship yet? No, I don't have a need for it just yet. However, this is where I will be calling it for today, because I've got work to do for later. I gotta get to bed relatively soon, because I got therapy later. I've got to finish up my character for the Star Wars campaign, because we made some adjustments on things today. And yeah. But thank you everybody for joining us today for Cosmoteer. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. They are on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, picking up packs of cards to stream loots, commissioning one of the artists that I manage for. Their details are at zgf.art, or you can just come by and hang out. But for now, thank you so much for joining, and I bid you all the most fondest adieu.
Rockruff's conceptually at you.
Rockruff.